why and how you should be your own bank. The younger guys, you may never heard of this term, but us older fellows have. We used to say things like, man, if I had $1 million, I could live off the interest. I remember my grandparents used to tell me that. If you put $1 million in the bank, you can live off the interest. What they meant was, if they paid you 3 to 6%, let's just say 5%, a year on your interest, that'd be $50,000 a year. And back then that was pretty good money. And it was true. You can actually, get interest based on the amount of money you had. If you had $1 million, they'd give you a pretty good interest. That's a lot of customers in one putting in $1 million. It'd take a lot of customers to get $1 million in there. But they won't even come close to doing that now. Remember the term pennies on the dollar? You won't even get that anymore. You won't even get pennies on the penny. You might get pennies on the penny now from these banks. And the reason why I say you should become your own bank, the number one reason, and some of you guys are not going to like this, but this is the truth, because they don't care about you. They don't care about me or you. When I say they, I'm talking about the banking system and the powers that be, okay? And they're turning around and not only letting you borrow it, but they're letting other people borrow it too. The money on the screen that you see, when you hear me say the money on the screen, I'm talking about the money on your phone from your bank accounts and the money on your accounts you look at on your computers and your tablets and stuff like that. Those numbers aren't real, and the reason I say that is because, yeah, you can swipe your card and use it and stuff like that. But when it comes to cold, hard cash, and everybody made a bank run and ran up to the bank, like I said before, and I'll say it again, you better hope you're the top 1% of getting there, because the money's not there. It's not. And that's why I say the money's not real. It's just a facade, and it's not money anyways, but we'll get into that in a second. And while your diluted dollars are sitting there doing nothing, you're losing your purchasing power on that money every single day that goes by. They're printing more money out than they've ever had. The market cap of gold was printed out in US dollars last year. In 1 year, the entire $5,000 to $6,000 or 5,000 to 6,000 years of gold in our world was printed out in 2020. I mean, let that sink in for a second. The inflation rate is absolutely destroying the interest rate they're paying you for. It's just destroying it. So even if they gave you a little more, let's say they gave you 1%, you think inflation rate is not higher than 1%, despite what Jerome Powell tells us, that it's only 2.0 to 2.4. I mean, we see the gas and the groceries and the everyday goods that we buy, it's going up. So even if they gave you a 1%, which they only give you a percentage of that 1%, the diluted dollars that they're printing out are absolutely destroying your purchasing power every single day when you keep your money in the bank. That's why when I never understood this fully until I got older, but I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and Robert Kiyosaki said it best. He said, savers are for losers. Now, mind you, I was a saver at the time. Like, what do you mean savings for losers? Then he used to say, you got to invest in this and invest in that. Don't just keep your money in the bank. And I always believed in investing, but why would I not keep a savings account? An emergency fund or something. And you do need an emergency fund. And that's why I keep it in something else. But he was absolutely right. The inflation rate, and this is back in the 90s when he wrote this book, guys. This is 25 years ago. But now in 2021, the hyperinflation the hyper printing that they're doing is going to cause hyperinflation later. But it is absolutely insane what it's doing to our purchasing power. It's taking away from it every single day, little by little by little. And that's why I tell you guys, you got to be your own bank. Also, your money's not safe with the bank. It doesn't exist, like I said before. You're losing it to inflation. They're not giving you any interest on your money that they're loaning out. The digital printing that they're doing is way more than the physical cash printing. So when you see the money printers going off and stuff like that, when they say printing, I'm not talking about just the physical cash printing. I'm talking about just putting numbers on the screen that don't exist. There's not enough cash in the world to keep up what's on that screen in the stock market and everything. It's not. These banks have absolutely too much power. That's why we have to put our cash into something else. What we call the real money. And you guys know that. And those are the reasons to me why you should be your own bank. Because they don't care about you. They don't have any competition. They're printing money like no other. They're putting money on the screen. They're not giving you your proper interest that they should be giving you based on what they're loaning it out for. And all those reasons. Now, how do you become your own bank? Well, some of you guys are not going to like this, but take as much cash. Now, let me say this. I am not a financial advisor. I did go to school for finance and stuff like that. I don't have my Series 7, but I've been studying money for a long time. But I'm telling you guys, how to become your own bank is don't trust the banking system. Don't trust Jerome Powell and what the powers that be are telling you, because it's not true. Inflation is coming slowly but surely. If I had to guess, and I think I've said this before, I think interest is more closer to 10% than it is 2.4%. It might be even higher than that, but I'm not going to go crazy with it. But how do you become your own bank? You know what I'm going to say, guys. Buy precious metals. Buy the real money. Gold and silver. And to me, platinum is up there too. Even though it's not a monetary metal, it's a very undervalued, highly liquidated asset that's very, very, very precious. You know what I mean? Also, another way to become your own bank is buy cryptocurrencies. The reason why the cryptocurrency market's going so crazy right now is because the young people who don't know about silver, are buying these kind of digital currencies because they're not trusting the dollar either. They see what's going on. Last year, crypto or Bitcoin was $3,000 a coin. Nothing changed about crypto except the fact that people bought them more. They bought more of them. So now they're saying, well, we don't want your 3,000 for this coin. We need 50 something thousand or 61,000. That's the highest so far for one of these coins. We don't want that diluted, watered down cash that you keep printing and entering in on a screen. We don't want only 3,000 for one of our only 21 million Bitcoin. We don't want that. And we already know why the precious metals are lower than what they are, because they're being suppressed. They're being manipulated, the prices, because the government and the banks don't want you to know that gold and silver are the real money. 97% of the people don't even know that. They think money is that cash and those numbers on the screen. They don't know any better, but you know better. And it's our job to let people know what's the real money. And that's why you need to become your own bank, and that's how you become your own bank. Also becoming your own bank by stacking the things that you need. And I say this, I'm like a broken record on this channel, but buy the stuff you need: food, water, things that give you shelter, things that give you power, things that help you cook food and keep your food fresh and safe, keep you safe. You know what I'm talking about. I got two friends, their name's Smith and Wesson. Keep those things around. Become your own bank. Bank doesn't mean it has to always do with money. It's banking the stuff that you need that's most important. But when it comes to this money, we're with the God's money. Precious metals, gold, silver, platinum, and now these digital cryptocurrencies that a lot of people are getting into. The market cap is 1.5 trillion. So to wrap this up, why you need to be your own bank is all the reason I said before, and how you do it is keep doing what you're doing, but also too, tell your loved ones, because nothing is more important than you, your health, and your family, and the people that you love and care about. Remember, be your own bank, and don't let the system fool you, and don't let these people on TV tell you any different. I love you guys very much. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace and love.